Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. My youngest son is not a watch nerd, but he does wear watches. And the other day he got a package in the mail, and as he was opening it, I was thinking to myself, that looks about the size of a watch. Sure enough, he ordered himself a watch. He bought a Timex Expedition Snoopy watch. And it looks really great on him. So I stole his watch for the evening so that I can show it to you. Let's review this thing. Alright, so here's my son's Timex Expedition Snoopy Edition. You can see Snoopy right there. The colorway of this piece is perfectly his style. This light brown matches stuff that he wears. This is an extremely affordable watch. I think I saw them for around 50 bucks, somewhere around there, which is crazy because it feels really solid. I would expect this to go for somewhere around 100 plus, but yeah. All right, so looking at the strap that it's on, it's a nice thick light brown leather. We have some branding on the keeper and on the buckle. They are very proud of themselves over at Timex. It's genuine leather. We have some quick release spring bars, which is always handy. I believe these are 20mm lugs. It's a little bit stiff, but not too bad. It's not cardboardy, but it is a thick strap, so it'll take a little bit of breaking in. As you can see, he's already been wearing it. Yeah, very nice strap. It looks great with the aesthetic of the watch for sure. Looking at the lugs, you can see that they're brushed, both on the sides and on the top. Nice and tooly. Now, the spring bar is inset a bit, so you can see how these kind of stick out like horns. I don't think they end up poking your wrist though. And you really wouldn't notice that at all when the strap is in its normal position. As you can see, there's enough room for that strap to easily fit through there, but there isn't any gaps. Yeah, the size of these lugs looks just fine. Not too long, not too short. I like how they curve. Kind of adds an elegant look to the watch. That's pretty cool. Looking at the case back, it is brushed. We have Timex in the middle and some information at four corners around that circle there. It is a pressure fit case, and there's the lip that you get your case knife under to open it up. It looks kind of shallow. Might be kind of a challenge to pop this off, but it looks real nice, very utilitarian. This watch isn't overly thick. It looks great. The proportions on it are just spot on. It has a decent sized crown on it. This is a quartz watch, so you're not going to be using this a whole lot. To use the Indiglo, you would push on it, but the Indiglo on this watch sadly does not work. It worked when he first got it, and it would periodically work, so I'm hoping that it's just the battery is just low enough to not operate the Indiglo, but has enough power to keep time. We'll find out when it comes time to change this battery. I'm hoping that's the case so that the Indiglo will work for him again. That would be nice. If it doesn't work after a battery change, he may be able to send this into Timex. I've heard that they'll replace watches when you do that, but who knows. Alright, so let's pop out this crown and see what it's like to use it. You can see that this movement hacks, which is great. The hands move really slowly, which means you'll be able to set the time very accurately, but it'll take you a while if you have to go all the way around the dial like this. Pop that in. You can see it has a tiny date window, very difficult to read. Let's go to position 1, or is it 2? Let's go to the date setting position of this crown. Oh, and check that out. You can set the date backward or forward. That's pretty cool. Wow. Nice. And we'll set these hands up around 1010 or so. Oh, there goes the Indiglo. Check that out. So it does periodically work. Very cool. That is such a useful feature for a watch like this. Perfect camping piece, so you're around the fire and the loom has died and whatnot, you can still tell the time. Make sure you go to bed before 4 in the morning or something. It has a nice bezel around the crystal. It's a great looking case on this watch. The crystal itself is flat. It is a mineral crystal though, so it's easier to scratch than sapphire and really difficult to get those scratches out. However, being a flat crystal like this, I feel like if you rough that up enough, you could probably have it replaced pretty easily, I would think. Looking at the dial, I love 24-hour markers like this where you have 1 through 12 and then 13 through 24 on the inside. Very field watch style there. We see the hands are kind of pencil hands / sword hands, sort of. They kind of enlarge as you come down here and then they angle in like a pencil hand. I love that seconds hand in green. That is such a cool touch. And the color on this dial isn't too terrible. Even though it's an Indiglo watch, which sometimes they'll have kind of an odd color, but in person this just looks like a cream color. And then we have Snoopy with Love the Land above there. And you can't go wrong with Snoopy. Snoopy's just awesome. And then up here we have Timex Expedition. The font on the numbers is great. There is no loom on any of the indices though. So when you are using loom to tell the time, it's going to be a rough estimate. Kind of like if you were wearing a Movado Museum. But the hands are loomed. So let's charge those up and see what they look like. Oh, very nice. Look at that. That is some decent loom. So you could get a rough idea of what time it is, which when you're camping or hiking or whatever, late at night surrounded by bears and who knows what other monsters, you don't really need to know precise time, right? I mean, for me, I just make sure that I'm asleep before my cutoff, 4 in the morning. It fades kind of quickly. It's not super luminova or anything. But ultimately, this watch has Indiglo, right? So if that were working consistently, you don't really need the loom at all. As for the specifications on this watch, the case size is 40 millimeters. The case height is 11 millimeters. The lug to lug is 49 millimeters. The lug width is 20 millimeters. The crystal is mineral. The movement inside this watch is a mystery. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I just know it's quartz. The water resistance on this watch is 50 meters. So definitely reasonable for a fieldish type of watch. Alright, so let me take off my vintage Citizen watch and we'll see what it's like to wear the Expedition. Alright, so here is my son's Timex Expedition on my 7-inch wrist. It's a great aesthetic. This watch looks really, really nice for the price. It feels solid. And with a quartz movement like that, it should last pretty much forever for the most part. That brushed buckle looks great on it. And that light brown leather just is so fitting. Really complements the dial. It's a perfect modern sized watch at 40 millimeters. So a lot of people will find that just a great size. I mean, this watch looks really awesome when he's wearing it. It looks great on him. Very cool piece. And he tracked this watch down on his own. He didn't ask me for any advice or anything. He found this, decided he wanted it, and bought it. That's pretty cool. Very Very nice. So there you have it, my son's brand new Timex Expedition Snoopy watch. Sad that the Indiglo isn't working. Hopefully it's just that the battery's kind of old. So when it does stop telling time and we swap the battery out, I'm hoping the Indiglo will work for him again. I mean, he may be able to send it into Timex. I've heard that other people do that when theirs stops working and Timex will just send him a new watch. We'll see. Thanks for watching.